So a month ago on the podcast, you said people should not rush to file a bankruptcy or consumer proposal. I assume your advice hasn't changed on that.
I'm still
point.
saying that. I mean, the folks that we are dealing with on the most urgent basis right now are the ones that are dealing with these damn payday lenders, the people that are still hassling them. You got all this other stress in your life. We can at least relieve that for you. Although the first thing we're saying to anybody who calls is, okay, what can we help you with? Do you really sure you need to deal with this right away? Let's prioritize.
Yeah, and open a new bank account at a new bank. If someone already has access to your old bank account because you've given them void checks or post-dated checks or whatever, then the new bank account. And we are hearing reports that some of the big banks are making it somewhat easier to actually do that online.
They are.
But I get conflicting reports because I'll hear that, big bank will let you do it, and then I'll hear another person 10 minutes later tell me they couldn't do it. So you've just got to try. But that's just a standard planning principle. Have a bank account where you don't owe money.
Correct.
And that nobody else knows about. Okay, so let's end the show then with practical advice. So I think you've already, given us the first piece, which is, times are tough. We get it. It's very stressful. You want to pause.
Yeah. Take stock of your situation. Don't do anything hastily.
I would also suggest, and I'm pretty sure everyone has already done this, but make sure you understand what benefits are out there.
Right.
Now, I already read through the whole complicated how the CERB thing works.
Well, and we didn't touch on the fact that these CERB benefits are taxable, but they're not withholding any taxes now. So there's a special surprise everybody's going to get next spring unless the government does some follow-up relief. You're going to owe 25% of this money in taxes.
Yep.
And nobody's setting that aside.
Well, you're going to owe whatever your marginal tax rate ends up being.
Right.
So it's just like getting another $2,000 paycheck.
Yep.
And a lot of people are probably or have done their taxes for 2019. So if you want to see what the impact of it is, pull up your tax program from 2019 and add in, pretend you got another T4 slip with $2,000 on it. A month. So if you got it for 4 months, then, put $8,000 in and see how much extra taxes you would have to pay. Now, obviously, your paycheck will probably also go down for the months because you're not working.
Right.
So it's the marginal difference.
Yep.
Reduce your income, play around with the numbers. But again, you can take a look at your tax return and see, well, I'm in the 20% marginal, 30%, 40%, whatever. That's what you're going to end up paying. So yes, you want to be starting to think ahead to that.
So that's the surprise from the CERB benefit. There's a surprise from the mortgage deferrals because you're paying interest on your interest. There are all sorts of, you need to understand all of these benefits that people are giving you. Know what they are, know which ones make the most sense.
Yeah, and we're not saying don't take advantage of them because your immediate need is today. I need to buy food. I need to do this. So yes, absolutely take advantage of what's there, but beware that there is a cost going forward.
Be careful. And if you don't understand, call and ask somebody that does.
And I think we kind of hit on this with the payday loans as well. Consider all your options.
Right.
So I don't believe that there is, I don't know, maybe I can think of a circumstances where you should get a payday loan, but I'd really have to think about it. And the classic example is, well, my rent is due on the 1st and my CERB benefit isn't going to come in until the 5th. How am I going to pay my rent? And the answer is you're going to go talk to your landlord and you're going to say, I can't pay you till the 5th.
And unless you've been a bad tenant or you got a strange landlord, they're going to work with you, particularly in the current crisis. But just a general rule, if you've got problems like that, communicating with people is a great way to solve them, as opposed to stressing yourself out and looking for solutions that probably don't make as much sense.
Yeah, speak up. It's unlikely you're going to get evicted in the next 5 days. Correct. So make a deal with the landlord. In a lot of cases, people are saying, look, I can give you half the rent. But getting a payday loan and then owing a whole lot more 2 weeks from now isn't going to solve the problem.
Correct.
So make sure you understand all your options. So yeah, and I think my advice would be that, the lockdown will end, I hope. So you want to start preparing for the end.
Yep.
And you gave some good examples there. You're going to end up perhaps owing taxes on your CERB benefit. So you don't need to set aside the money today because you need it for food.
Right.
But in the final 6 months of this year, what can I do when I go back to work? Do I increase my withholdings? What do I do? You want to have that thought process now.
And I mean, this is back from my psych days, so it's, very old data. They used to say it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So everybody right now is cutting back. They're living frugally, but you've been doing it for 5 weeks. And so some of these changes you've made, maybe you can continue to make them after you return to work. And so maybe you've changed the way you spend your money, change your habits so that you've got more money available. Maybe you'll start saving in the future. None of those things you can do right now, But the world is going to be different when we go back to work.
Oh, I totally agree. I think with inflation, it's now 30 days. It takes 30 days to
I
get a
Googled
new
it.
habit.
Some guys are saying 60 days.
There you go.
What do I know?